Good morning. It's great to be here. My name is Tony Price. I'm the Executive Director of the Gold Star Ride Foundation, which is headquartered here in the Twin Cities. I want to start by saying how great it is to see Stella sitting front row center right here in front of me. Clearly, Stella, everybody knows all about you already, because I was going to say she's the oldest Gold Star mom in the country, probably in history, 105 and a half years old. And I got to tell a little story because it was at her birthday party last January here in Minnesota where the temperature was about 10 below. And I got to ride my motorcycle up and down the hallway at the Big Lake High School where her birthday party was. I know a lot of you are thinking, I wish I could ride my motorcycle up and down the hallway. That was really, really great. But do you remember, Stella, when I came up to the podium to say happy birthday to Stella, and she was sitting right here to my immediate right, and I looked down at her and I said, wait, throughout the auditorium, there's great big huge banners everywhere that say happy 105th Stella, all over the place. I turn and I look at Stella and I say, Stella, can I tell them how old you are? She says, no. You know, I got to tell you, it's really great to hear that laughter. It really, really is. And the reason that it's really great to hear that laughter is because in my travels and everything that I've experienced, one of the things that is paramount above all else is that there's never been a soldier who put on a uniform because he wanted his family and his friends to be miserable. The only reason to put on, well, one of the biggest reasons for soldiers to put on a uniform and go defend our great land is so that our families and friends can have a better life than they had before. And that laughter is the number one, for me personally, laughter is the number one sign that it's working. I mentioned Stella. I don't know how many other Gold Star families are here. Can you guys just raise your hands? I want you to all I would like to extend my personal condolences to each and every one of you. And as the Executive Director of the Gold Star Ride Foundation, I will make time to talk to you after this and throughout the future, forever into the future. They only gave me 10 minutes to speak. And I was worried because I thought it was going to take me about an hour and a half to say everything I wanted to say. And then I remembered Abraham Lincoln did the Gettysburg Address in 3 minutes. How many veterans do we have here today? Show of hands. Veterans. Now, thank you very much for that applause. My hand was up too. All of you veterans that just raised your hands, I would like you guys to join me and applaud everybody who did not raise their hand. This is because we proved in Vietnam and we proved in Desert Storm that without the support of the civilian population, the military can do nothing. The military can do nothing unless we have the support of the civilians behind us. Which leads me to the next point, which is what the Gold Star Ride Foundation does. The foundation rides, it's weird. It's weird. We ride motorcycles all over the country. And we go and personally meet with Gold Star families. And we honor and support them. And to date, I've been in all 48. I'm looking over there at Dave and I'm going, this guy rides 4 times more than I do. But to date, in less than 6 years, I've logged 135,000 miles. I've met with 526 Gold Star families throughout the country. I visited with all of the 48 lower states and Washington, D.C. at least 4 times each. That's what the Gold Star Ride Foundation does. And that's why they asked me to come and talk to you guys today. not everybody knows what a Gold Star family is. Interesting side note, little story I'm going to tell you. I was riding my motorcycle across western Pennsylvania. Western Pennsylvania is a beautiful place to ride a motorcycle. Allegheny Mountains are wonderful. The biggest thing for me is, in Pennsylvania, I'm not required to wear a helmet. But I was on my way to see a Gold Star family in Lockport, New York, which is about 30-40 miles from Buffalo. So I had to cross the Pennsylvania-New York state line, and New York says I do have to wear a helmet. I stopped at a McDonald's right on the state line, shut off the motorcycle, strapped on the helmet, started up the motorcycle, and it rolled 10 feet and died. And I started cussing at that motorcycle. And I was clearing the codes, and I was doing this and checking the computer, and I was doing everything I could do to try to make that motorcycle run. And after about 5 or 6 minutes, I hear this voice behind me. And he says, "Hey, mine does that sometimes too. Let's push it over in the shade and see if we can get it going." It was about 110 degrees that day. So he gets on one side of the motorcycle, I'm on the other. Front wheel's that way, back wheel is that way, and we're pushing it that way. And that particular motorcycle, I don't have that motorcycle anymore. I hit a deer once, and that's a different story for a different day. But on that particular motorcycle, I had about 13 stickers that said Gold Star Ride Foundation. So the guy helping me, he says, "Well, tell me, what's the Gold Star Ride Foundation?" So I tell him what we're about. And he said, "Oh, that's awesome. What's a Gold Star family?" And I said, "Well, it's immediate family members of somebody killed in the military." And he stopped pushing the motorcycle, and he stood upright, and he looked me dead in the face. And he said, "My daughter was killed in Korea 3 years ago." I said, "That makes you a Gold Star dad." He said, "Nobody ever told me that story before. Nobody told me that before." I said, "Well, I'm telling you right now, you're a Gold Star dad." And we pushed the motorcycle in the shade. We spent about 20 minutes talking about him being a Gold Star dad. And a lot of tears and a handful of pictures and all this stuff. And then after a while, he says, "I got grandkids waiting for me to pick me up, or me to pick them up. We got to figure out what's going on with this motorcycle." I strapped on the helmet, I hit the start button, it started right up, and I drove 2.5 hours to Lakeport without a hitch. Not everybody knows what Gold Star family is. Woody Williams, interesting fella if you read his history. Woody Williams won the Congressional Medal of Honor after deeds in the Pacific in 1945, World War II. We lost Woody a year and 11 months ago, more or less. But before we lost him, he managed to set up the Woody Williams Foundation. And it is that foundation that dedicates these monuments all over the country. And I don't know how many you've been in front of, but I've been in front of at least 20. 137. I told you, he rides a lot more than I do. My understanding is the kids run it now. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. Do the kids run the foundation? Oh, you do? Okay. But the primary purpose of the Woody Williams Foundation is so that we can remember. We have to remember the fallen heroes. They say a soldier dies 2 deaths. One when his heart stops beating, and the other one when we stop saying his name. My job is to ride all over the country to remember everybody's name and say everybody's name. We couldn't be free without the sacrifices of our fallen heroes. We wouldn't be free without the sacrifices of the Gold Star families. And the Gold Star families didn't sign up for it. The fallen heroes signed up for it, but their families did not. But they're the ones that are carrying the burden. And again, why did they do that? They did it so that our lives could be better. They did it so that we can laugh more, so that we can love more, so that we can live more. And if I can offer some advice that I've learned while traveling through these United States, you know, it's a funny side note, about 3 weeks ago I was laughing with my wife and I said, you know, there's no place in the lower 48 states that I haven't been within 150 miles of in the last 5 years. Anyway, side notes. It might be The advice that I would like to offer is that it might be that in order to laugh more, to live more, to love more, we need to forgive more. If we were able to forgive more, this would allow us more empathy so that we would have a better understanding of what the Gold Star families are going through every day. It will help us understand what each Gold Star family has suffered through. I'm going to try to read this without my glasses. This is a little dedication that I leave to every Gold Star family that I've met all around the country. These are not my words. I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine which should attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering to you the thanks, the consolation that may be found in the thanks of the Republic they died to save. I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memory of the loved and the lost and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln. That's what this monument means. This monument that I'm standing in front of. That's what it means. Say their name. Never forget.